Hello to all of you from around the world. I want to welcome you back to another beautiful edition of Soulivity Today. Of course, we're broadcasting live from our studio right here in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and on our partner, KMET, 1490 AM radio in Southern California. Of course, if you know me by now, I'm Brian Westley Johnson, and I'm glad you're here because we have an amazing show for an amazing week of Soulivity Today coming up. I'm joined today by Soulivity Editor-at-Large, D'Angelo Thompson. Hello, D. How are you?
Good morning, Brian. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, man. Well, so what have you been up to, man? I know last week was really busy for you. What have you been up to?
You know what? I'm just trying to wrap up this year, man.
Right. I hear you, man.
I did some Halloween things for a client. He wanted to be the crow. And then we did this like devil type thing. So just had a little fun with Halloween with clients and wrapping up some things at school with the students. And to be honest, I just really am trying to stay motivated and positive despite what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
And just put positive energy and love out there, man. That's it.
Yeah, I hear you, man. There's a lot of things happening. I think what we're doing here is important because I think we give people a little bit of an hour-long respite away from that stuff for a minute and talk about some things with some positivity and some empowerment. When you were mentioning Halloween, I was thinking about you when you were doing the makeup because wasn't it in New York they did the annual Thriller dance?
Yeah. Oh, they did.
I was like, was D part of that? Was D
No, God, no. No, I don't do crowds, man. I rarely do crowds.
Well, listen, I'm glad you had a good week. Listen, everybody, today is our regular Motivation Monday show where we bring you news, information and resources to begin your week with some much needed inspiration. And today we have something and someone special for you. There is an old African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. Now, this important quote is a reminder that everyone needs and wants the support of others to make their dreams come true. D, I was thinking about this and I said, collaboration is like a necessity of life. Right? I mean, in your career, both of us have built our careers on collaboration and connections with others and how we can support each other, right?
Right. Feeding the village, man. Giving people ownership,
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I can say it,
Absolutely. And so today, everyone, we're going to be answering some questions with a special guest. How does it all come together? How does this collaboration come together? What are some of the things we need to learn to make collaboration a viable part of our life and our business? Well, as I said before, we've got a special someone, the perfect guest to discuss this all with, but let's learn a little bit more about him first. John Hennessy is a UK-born and Vancouver, Canada-based agency owner, artist, and educator. Immersed in and inspired by skateboarding culture and music movements of the 90s, John started his career in the fashion and beauty industry as an outlier, and after 30 years still draws from those original roots of inspiration in his creative approach to business. John's work as a makeup artist and educator has taken him around the world, working with beauty and fashion brands, celebrity clients, and backstage at hundreds of runway shows between New York, Milan, and Paris. NOBASURA is a creative agency founded by John and his sister Chantel in 2007. Now run by John and his wife Anna, they specialize in the creation of fashion, beauty, and celebrity and lifestyle-related images, as well as artist training and development. They are connectors, creators, and collaborators who work with a broad range of clients from startups to billion-dollar brands. And with that, we want to welcome John Hennessy to Soulivity Today. Hey, John, how are you?
I am so great. I can't think of a better way to start my week.
And we want to first say thank you for joining us from all the way out in Vancouver, British Columbia, one of my favorite places on the planet. I know it's pretty early out there, but it's probably just still gorgeous. I mean, did you guys get some snow yet there or no?
No snow, but it's starting to be what Vancouver is known for, which is that heavy rainfall of the winter
Oh
months.
man.
You know, so
It's so wait a minute, how many
hibernation
months
time.
of how many months of winter do you guys actually get?
Depends who you ask. It feels like it's at least 9. You know,
So it's like, you bear with the 9 months because the 3.5 or whatever it is like spectacularly
glorious.
beautiful. Oh man,
Lush.
oh man,
Exactly.
I love Vancouver.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Listen, as I said before, John, we're talking about the power of collaboration, and I know throughout your journey, in makeup and artist management and talent development and all these different things, this has been central to your career. But I want to frame this first. What led you? What were the things behind you beginning your journey in this field? I mean, makeup, artist development, talent management. How did that all come about for you?
Well, basically, it started when I was around 18 or 19. I was working as a shift manager at a Burger King, skateboarding, and
Wow.
had no interest in fashion and beauty whatsoever, to be honest. It was like the last thing on my mind in terms of career path. It just happened that my girlfriend at the time was a huge fan of the brand MAC Cosmetics. And so I would just spend a lot of time watching her get ready and go through her process of transformation and flip through her issues of Vogue. And I just came across an article on a makeup artist whose concept sketches, it showed his visuals and then showing the actual work on the runway. And it was just this kind of serendipitous combination of elements that led me to pick up a makeup brush, go to school for makeup, and ended up working for Mac, working my way through the artist training and development department when Mac was at a
Wow.
stage of really explosive growth. And then
Wow.
from there, I ended up traveling more internationally for work, doing media tours and special events, celebrity clients, and that type of thing. Being based in LA for a few years, based in New York, and then ultimately moved back to Vancouver, which is where I started the agency and moved into that aspect of our business growth.
Wow, that's wow. I mean, so you were on the front edge, it sounds like, when Mac was like going through that explosive growth that they had back 90s and early 2000s. I mean, what
Uh,
serendipity, right? Through people that you connected with, you know?
It's absolutely true. I mean, I remember the first time going into the makeup department with my girlfriend at the time, and it looked like just like a spaceship had landed in the middle of the cosmetic department, and it was the it was the MAC counter. You know, you had the the there was it was a good counterbalance to kind of the Clinique aesthetic, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
it just felt more. I felt more of a kinship with that, just with that identity. You know, it's kind of it seemed to represent a good cross section of people that I didn't see represented in other areas.
Yes.
Absolutely. You sound does any of this stuff sound familiar to you, D'Angelo, in terms of your career?
It sure does. John, like you, Makeup Forever was my tribe, just like Mac was your
Yeah,
tribe initially. I think once you find your tribe, it's very important, right?
essential, essential.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Yeah. I think that that's one of the things, it's interesting. We come from different backgrounds, different, different countries, but we've definitely shared some parallel experiences, and it's being immersed in that creative community and finding your allies within that context that really, yeah, that have really created the foundation of the businesses that we run today.
Hmm. Very much so.
Mm,
Wow.
mm.
Wow.
John, who was a big influence on you? Do you have a person that was in that realm that was kind of like that took you underneath their wing and was kind of showing you the ropes?
There were a couple. I think of one person in particular. His name's Jason Stafford, who was more of a senior trainer at that time, and he's somebody who I believe works for Chanel now. But
Wow.
he's somebody that gave me some, incredible opportunities and advice, and yeah, really mentored me in a lot of different ways. Tamara Adam, who is another senior trainer. I mean, I could rattle off a list of 15 people that had a significant influence on my professional growth at that stage, and not just professional, but my creative growth and exploration as well.
Right, right. What about you, D? Who were like some of the people that were like your people, the people that kind of took you underneath their wing early on and were kind of showing you
Yeah,
the ropes?
there were three actually.
Okay.
There was Alfred Fournet, who worked for Fashion Fair at the time. He just taught me how to look at women differently, and really listen to them. And then there was
Mm,
Byron
mm.
Barnes, and Byron Barnes is actually still around and
Byron.
still doing it artistry.
Yeah.
He created
Yeah.
Max, I'm sorry, Iman's line, her first line into the world of retail. And then Sherry Lee out of San Francisco. She taught me a lot about being on set as far as
Right.
film and TV and what not to do and what to do. And she kept me out of trouble, put it that way.
Well, you always got to have that one that's like, baby,
Yes, best
baby,
advice. Best advice.
don't,
Yes.
no, like just no, no, don't do that. Don't
Hmm.
do that. Smile, smile, say thank you, and
Keep your
then
hands
walk
to
away,
yourself.
and then
Yes.
there's no
Little
room
a little
for
bit of trouble's
fisticuffs.
okay.
Right. Well, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, well, the spice of life, right? Where certain people, may rub you the wrong way, and then later on you find out they're your best friend, right? You like you just bond with them later on through something,
Exactly. Exactly.
you
Hmm.
know.
So true.
Man, I'm loving this conversation, guys. I mean, I'm loving how we're beginning this because everybody, I want to make sure that you understand that again, you've got myself, you've got D'Angelo, you've got John, and we've reached a level of success in our careers, in our professions, and even in our personal lives. But we had friends and relationships that we cultivated with others that were mutually supportive that we've all grown up as a village together. And
Yes.
so that's step one. Just wanted to make sure that everybody understood this thing is real, right? This is not just like, something fake and that kind of thing. So having people in your life that are collaborating with you and having mutually supportive relationships is essential. So listen, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into, you know, this important, like what are some of the benefits? What are some of the things that came about from these relationships at a deeper level? So listen, John, myself, and D'Angelo, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with more of Soulivity Today in about 2 minutes. Hi there, this is Brian with Soulivity.com. I want to share some exciting news about our new Aspire Academy by Soulivity. Now, you probably want to know what the Aspire Academy by Soulivity is. Well, it exclusively connects you with people around the globe and who share the intense desire to improve themselves and create a better life for themselves today. There's classes, there's workshops, there's live events, and even more exclusively just for you. You see, I wanted you to have a safe space where you could grow, you can learn, and it would empower you in all aspects of your life, including your mind, your body, and your soul. So, how do you get started? Well, it is so easy. First of all, the best part, joining Aspire Academy is absolutely free. Just click on the Join Now button, sign up, and begin your journey. As a special part of this invitation to you, there are some free courses that are available for you to try from our amazing roster of coaches and collaborators. It's our way of saying thank you for all of your support and being with us along our journey of expansion. I hope you enjoyed the Aspire Academy by Soulivity today. Start the process. Learn more about your passion, your purpose, and how to live a higher quality life. Hey, we are back here with more on Soulivity today. We are exploring the power of collaboration with a successful entrepreneur, John Hennessy, owner of NOBASURA Artist Management, and Soulivity co-host D'Angelo Thompson is back with us as well. Guys, I'm loving this conversation. You know, you know how I love people. I love connecting with people.
Yes.
You know, it is my life's blood. You know, seeing different people, meeting different people from, you know, when I travel, I love talking with different people and finding out what their life stories are. I'm sure,
Yes.
John, you probably had the same experiences in your career and life. Um, what are some of the important things that you've learned about yourself, John, when you're thinking of these connections that you've made with people that you might have ended up either collaborating with or doing something mutually supportive with each other? What are some of the things that you kind of learned about yourself through that?
That's such a great question. There are so many things that I've learned. I think about who the mentors have been in my life, and have had the good fortune to assist a lot of makeup artists in particular, especially working backstage at runway shows over the years. And one of the things that I've come to realize is that the people will mentor you in different ways. You're learning things. You're taking qualities that you want to embody yourself, and those qualities that you'd prefer to leave behind when you're dealing with other people, when you're interacting with other people that you're collaborating with. So not all mentors come in the same form. What I've learned about myself through that process is that that connection and that collaboration is really what drives me. What I love to do is
Mm,
work with emerging artists who are still trying to find their
mm,
creative voices, and help to support
wow.
and amplify those voices in ways that I didn't necessarily have to the same extent when I was coming up in the industry.
Mhm.
Mm, I love it. I love it. I love it. You know, what about you, D'Angelo? What were some of the things that you learned about yourself? Because you've got such a beautiful tribe that's far and wide. You
Thank
know,
you, Brian.
what?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
John, I would say the same exact thing. And also, you never stop learning. You learn from every single person that you meet. I consider everybody a mentor. Even when I bring in assistants,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm learning. I tell them flat out, I'm like, I'm learning from you as you're learning from me as well. So you never stop learning. And that's kind of the way I look at life. Like, I never think, oh, I know this. I am seriously evolving every single day and
Mm,
growing,
mm,
as an artist, as an
mm,
entrepreneur. So, yeah.
You know,
What about you,
it's well, I knew for me, I agree with both of you, and I think I would say yes to both of you in terms of the things that I have learned
Mm-hmm.
about myself. I also learned about myself that my capacity to grow and challenge myself um, becomes easier when I allow myself to be vulnerable with others. I learned that,
Mm,
you kind
yes.
of crack yourself open a little bit more and you're like, ooh, there's some good, there's some bad, there's some ugly in there. And it's all kind of mixed up. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, I need to deal with this, or I need to deal with that. Or I didn't know I had the capacity to do this. Wow, that was fantastic. I breezed through that. And that people who are close to you, especially when you're vulnerable, can see
Mm.
in you things that a lot of times you can't see in yourself. And so they help kind of, hey, you got this. You can
Yes.
get through this, you know, and vice versa, where you see something in that other person that they can't see in themselves and you're encouraging them. I think at the end of the day, I think the word that keeps coming to mind, and we both will probably kind of laugh at this, is mediocrity, right?
Mm.
Mm,
That
hmm
that layer, when you're cooking some greens or something, you let it sit for a minute and that layer of fat just kind of sitting on the top. You got to keep stirring it up to keep the flavor going. It's like nothing rises and the flavor doesn't come out if you don't keep mixing it up, right?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
And so,
so it's such a, yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? And so people who are around us that are both supportive but also in their own way lovingly and nurturingly challenging us to move, and we're doing the same.
Yes.
Mediocrity does not exist. It's just up this upward
Mm.
beautiful spiral. I hear you agreeing, John. What say you, man?
It just resonates with me very deeply when you say that, because I talk to a lot of artists about being either acceptable or exceptional. It's like there are many people that are functioning at that level of mediocrity that can perform a function in a day-to-day role, but aren't necessarily excelling to their full potential. And that's like
Yes.
just a huge part of that transformation and that process of growth is tapping into the community around you and
Right,
really assessing who is helping to bring out the best in you.
right,
I mean, it's
right.
exactly as you say.
What about you, D? What are you thinking when I say all that?
Yeah, and trusting the people around you that they will challenge you.
Yes,
Knowing
yes,
that
yes.
sometimes, in the hardships, there's blessings.
Mm,
Like even
mm-hmm.
now with the strike, with SAG strike still continuing, I see the blessings in it because I've been able to create a lot more than normal than doing just technical work on set, like a basic makeup. I've been able to do a lot more creative things. So yeah, yeah, totally.
You and you learn things, especially as an entrepreneur, from some of these entrepreneurs that have been around for a while. And they're saying, make sure you put some money away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Go get a financial manager.
Still learning
You
that.
know, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, and I mean,
I'm just
you
being real.
know, I mean, and it's a process, right? I mean, live within your means,
Oh,
or live
that too.
under
Yeah.
under your means a little bit, so you
Mm-hmm.
can do the things you want to do. Take time off, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Don't work all the
Still,
time,
be
you
still.
know.
Yes.
Oh man. Listen, guys, we're gonna take another quick break. We're gonna keep on this conversation about the power of collaboration. Um, but I think when we come back, what I want to talk about is there's there's inevitably in every relationship, there comes adversity. And so when we're having partnership and we're having collaboration, again, there's the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's all part of it's not like it's right or wrong or anything. It's just part of life. So I want to ask you both about, how do you deal with that adversity when it pops up, you know? And so everybody, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back in just a second.
6 years ago, when I started Soulivity, My vision was to support everyone in improving their life through the discovery of their passion and purpose, so they could become the best version of themselves, to battle fear and ignorance, and create a better world today. Get inspired to live your passion and purpose. Visit Soulivity.com now.
Do you see me kneeling on this dual roller called Parasetter? It's actually comfortable because of this channel and the softness of the special foam. It feels like my kneecaps are being massaged. When I lie down, my spine is housed in this channel, while the convex rollers massage my muscles. They let go and lengthen. There's a traction effect from my head on the headrest and my mid-back from the rib wrap, which hugs me. When I start the breathing sequence, I feel calm because my cortisol levels are dropping. Lower cortisol means bye-bye constant hunger. Parasetter is 40 inches long and much more comfortable than old-style rollers, but it weighs only 10 ounces. Parasetter, just like Pilates was, is no longer an insider secret. Do yourself a favor. Reset your parasympathetic nervous system. Defeat stress. Lying, sitting, kneeling, or standing. This unique patented roller helps everyone.
Hey, we are back with more here on Soulivity Today, joined today by John Hennessy, the owner, operator of NOBASURA Artist Management, and of course, D'Angelo Thompson, my main man, is here talking about the power of collaboration. What's that song, Into These Days, Some Rain Must Fall? So with all the beauty, with all the beauty that exists with collaboration, there's always some disconnects, some little tit-tats, little, eye to eye, not being on the same page kind of stuff. And so we must deal with that as well. And so, John, I know dealing with artists, you know what I say to be true.
Yes, I
How
do.
do you,
Yes, I do.
What's your approach? So I'm going to ask you, because I know people have different approaches to it, around that. What is your basic approach to like adversity when it comes to like, we'll take artists, right? Because artists, you're collaborating with them, but it's still, you're still managing them. How do you deal with that?
Yes. I have to say that one of the things that I'm very grateful for is having been a makeup artist for 30 years. I understand what it's like spending time on set. I understand the the dynamics involved, working with production, working with all sorts of different elements. I've literally worked in every category other than film. So being able to be empathetic in that dynamic is a really essential. It's a key element. I think one of the things that makes us it is such such an important part of collaboration is also anticipation of where things may go sideways. So not just so rather than dealing with things as they arise, trying to circumvent things before they become an issue is a really that to me is number one. You obviously you can't anticipate every dynamic, but when you're actually immersed in that space, as I said, I'm coming from an artist's perspective who is now managing other artists. So I have experienced that certain dynamics. I can identify, I can relate on a lot of different levels. And I can help to diffuse some of those things by dealing more with the root cause of the issue rather than just the symptoms.
Right. Right.
Wow.
It's like being a Jedi, like you're being open and aware of what's happening, and trying to anticipate things while you're also trying to be, again, supportive, maintaining this relationship of mutual love and support, right? Because it's there. But, if you need to get in somebody's behind about something, you have to do that in a way too, right, D? Because
This is
when you're
true.
managing somebody.
I agree with John. For me, it's about communication.
Yeah.
It's about observing what's going on in the room, and reading the room
Yeah.
extremely well. And I think that's our gift as makeup artists. We're, I would say, naturally empaths. We understand what's going on, listening, and not being reactive when someone upsets you or pisses you
Yeah.
off. Taking a
Yeah.
beat and not responding right away. And I learned that in the past, I would say 15 to 20 years. Like, you know what? You could eviscerate this person right now, but you're not going to. You're going to take a
Right.
beat. You're going to think about this. And if it takes a day or two before you respond, take that moment so you don't respond
Mm.
in anger.
Y- y-
Yes.
Whew.
Just to,
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, John.
yeah, just to echo what you're saying, Dee, as well. I think that there's something really valuable in acknowledging that you don't always have the answers to every question, but be
Yes.
willing to collaborate in that sense to find those answers together with the person that you're working with, and also recognizing that not every client's needs or artist's needs are the same.
Yeah. Very true.
I think both of you are hitting on something that I think is so important. And in the next segment, we're going to talk about some tips as well, but we can jump into this. And that is, I think one of the number one mistakes that entrepreneurs make, and I'm talking, it doesn't matter if you're a single owner operator, like a makeup artist or, a hairstylist or a carpenter or whoever, or owning a larger company. You're not the holder of all the answers to every question that's there. It is
Very true.
impossible for you to be able to navigate all the things that you as an entrepreneur need to do completely alone. And that it is okay and it is absolutely a necessity to seek out and cultivate relationships with people who are brilliant and smart and funny and have different perspectives around the world and have different thoughts about the world that you can bounce stuff off of when you're
Mm.
going through a challenge or an adversity yourself and you need to answer a question. And you'll be surprised at the power that comes from that and the answers that you can receive. I know it is true in my life of that. I have a board of advisors that is phenomenal and that I can reach out to at any given point and say, hey, what about? And they were like, oh, well, da 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 da. And they break it down, so absolutely. I know, John, you probably agree with me, right? You probably have to seek.
100%.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I think it's, you were talking about some of the mistakes that entrepreneurs make, and a big part of that is not being able to effectively delegate certain responsibilities to people that are more efficient in certain areas than you are. And
Right.
it's not enough to have a team full of ideas people. You need logistics people as well, people whose
Yes.
skill sets complement your own.
Mm-hmm. 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 And
Wow.
and 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 understanding too that there is no such thing as, you know, people having jobs that are better or whatever than others. Because you just said, ideas people, logistics people. There's probably some other folks in that realm that are absolutely necessary to parts of what you want to do and achieve. And it's easier to partner and make things happen than it is for you to try to figure out how you're going to split yourself into three different dimensions trying to handle all this stuff simultaneously.
Right.
You know,
Right. Mm. Very true.
you know. Guys, listen, we got to take a quick break. Pay some bills a little bit. But we're gonna, be back with more of Soulivity today, and we're gonna give all of you some tips from our perspectives around how to create and utilize collaboration in your own life. So we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. of the Satana products at our Go shop at go.soulivity.com.
Have you ever asked the question, if I was to be anything, what would I be? Regardless of money, regardless of status, beyond popularity and fame. Living your passion, feeling your life has purpose. Soulivity is a space to nurture that which lives in all of us. A place where work can become play, and doing what we love creates the dreams of a lifetime.
Hey, we're back here with more on Soulivity Today. We're exploring the power of collaboration with John Hennessy, the owner-operator of NOBASURA Artist Management, and Soulivity co-host D'Angelo Thompson is back with us as well. Guys, we always want to try to leave people with some tips, some tools around how to make things happen. So, we just don't drop them, some knowledge and not give them how to move from A to Z. So, John, I'm going to go to and ask you this question around, if a person has been trying to do this all alone and doesn't know where to kind of begin this process of bringing people into their circle to cultivate this, what are some of the tips that you would give them from your perspective in your career?
How much time do we have? Could go. Got 100 for you. I think the most important thing is really kind of defining what the intended outcome is of the collaboration. Right? There's a little bit of reverse engineering that goes on, and it's part of that comes down to goal setting. Having a vision for what the end result is, and I'm big into, because it's a big part of what we do creatively when we're working with clients, is the creation of mood boards or creative decks. These are our it's our visual communication language when we're working in a creative field. So that the curation of certain images leads you to a conversation where everyone can be on the same page. And I find that a lot of creative individuals will reach out to people basically offering their services, but without a vision for what that collaboration could yield. And I think that that's an important part. If, I'm coming from the position of a makeup artist, reaching out to a photographer, a simple example like that, putting together a vision board or a mood board for what you see as the end result, and then communicating that vision first, rather than just saying, hey, I'm available should you need my services. But presenting things in a way that you are expressing your value and your contribution through that initial communication. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you're talking about something that is like one of the foundational pieces of what we tell people about creating their best life, and that is you got to actually see it and feel it before you can manifest it. And so it's like you're telling people, listen, to bring it into existence, if you imagine, especially if you just met someone and you think you're able to do it, claim what that would look like and work in partnership with that person to see what the vision is, because it's got to start with the vision. I think a lot of times we're just kind of haphazard. I mean, Dee, this is something that you talk about all the time.
I'll be a little butch here. Don't leave the ball on the court. Don't leave the ball on the court. And what I mean by that, if it doesn't work for you, because I get calls sometimes, I'm like, I'm not really into that. But what you can do is connect. You can connect the person with someone else. You can give another person an opportunity. So I try not to leave the ball on the court and try to take the ball and say, hey, I'm going to throw it to this person because I know they're going to, hit the goal or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my best advice. Collaborate, as we're saying, connect individuals, and don't leave the ball on the court. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't mean it won't work for someone else. So
I'm glad that you said that because it reminded me, it was something that I was going to try to feature today, but I couldn't find it. And it was a video of Gabrielle Union with some other sisters talking about it, and stop me if if you've seen it, where she was talking about how, sisters of color weren't getting paid in the realm of even this actor strike and that kind of thing. They weren't getting paid commensurate with their experience and with their audience. And so a film producer would come to the first sister and say, hey, would like you to do this role, blah, 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 blah. But we're only offering X, and it's way low.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Of course, that person turns it down, but then calls the next sister who they know they're going to go to. You're about to get a phone call. This is how much they offered me.
Right.
You know what to do.
Right.
They call that person. That person says, no, and you ask for 2-3 times that.
Mm-hmm.
They turn that down. That sister calls the next sister and tells that person, listen, I just got a call. I told them this. Our other girl told them that. You asked for this. And so on and so on. And so finally, it forced the industry to pay them what they're worth.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't have happened if the sisters hadn't collaborated with each other and knew, listen, if not me, you. But when it comes back, you understand, do the same thing for me. And so the amounts of salary and stuff started to rise because they were forcing those people to pay them.
And it's very true. And
don't,
true. Yes.
Yep, don't leave the ball on the court.
Yeah.
You
have to be an advocate for others, not just for yourself, So yes.
Yeah.
And so another tip.
Part of that. Yeah. A big part of that is, as you say, it's acknowledging your value. And I'm very big into the idea of maintaining a with, not for mentality. So when it comes to working with a client or with another artist, or even if you're working in-house for a brand, I consider that a with. I work with X, I work with Y, rather than I work for. And I think that that's just a general mindset or paradigm shift that can keep a little bit more equality or a little more balance in the relationship dynamics.
And I love all this because these are all great tips, right? Of knowing your value is another great way of having collaborations that are more equitable. Not leaving the ball on the court. If not me here, listen, I'm going to pass this on to somebody who might be a better fit because I can't do it right now. And you're not leaving that person hanging, right? I mean, I love all this, guys. I mean, I'm so glad you guys came for the show today. I mean, I really wanted to talk about collaboration. I wasn't sure how to do it. And so here it is. Here it is.
Yes.
Listen, we're going to take another quick break, but we've got more with Soulivity Today coming up. We'll be right back.
Hi there, Sheila Applegate here with some exciting news. I've joined the incredible Soulivity team as the host of the new Consciously Awesome live show, where I will be sharing insights to help you discover your full brilliance and claim the vibrant life you deserve. So tune in every Wednesday right here on Soulivity TV to join the fun, and remember to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an awesome week, and I will see you on Wednesday.
Would you like to be one of the first people to experience mental freedom? Mental freedom is a coaching practice with 6 core principles: improving hope, self-efficacy, optimism, resilience, and general well-being. Mental freedom only takes 6 sessions. It is designed to give you the tools you need to help yourself. It can help with any situation: relationship problems, past trauma, career decisions, parenting challenges, addiction, and mental health concerns. Incorporating the mental freedom framework into your life will deliver an approach to master any situation and a pathway toward achieving inner peace. Mental freedom provides the information and tools that you need to grow and be bigger than anything that ever happens to you. So if you're looking for one-on-one or a group coaching program that will allow you to address any situation that comes up in your life with practical tools to give you more peace and joy, then join the Mental Freedom Program in Soulivity's Aspire Academy. There are very limited spots available, so don't delay. I hope to see you there.
Hey, we're back here with more of Soulivity Today. Of course, we're not gone yet. We got to do some Soulivity shameless plugs. I'm gonna have some sisters make a song for me or something for that. Soulivity shame. John, thank you so much for being here, man. Love your energy. Love what you're talking about. Would love you to come back and further our conversation about all this. But before we do that, I got to do a shout out to you and all the folks at NOBASURA. Can you tell people a little bit about more about your company and what you're doing, and if there's any current, opportunities for people to become artists?
Yeah, well, NOBASURA has been, it started out as a creative project for us, but it's turned into, it seems like a legitimate business at this stage. We've been working with some amazing clients over the years, and we have lots more in store as far as that's concerned. You'll see lots of beautiful creative images, but the main thing for me is just making sure that we're writing checks to the artists that we're working with as well. Lots more to come.
Oh man, fantastic. See? Wow. That's nice. Got to make sure people making some money, right? Dee, you've got something really, really cool that you are doing in the New York area that I think is pretty powerful. Can you tell people a little bit more about the Sunday Solidarity Brunch that's happening on the 12th?
Yes, it's being hosted by WGA East and the Actors Empowerment Summit. It's from 12 to 5 on Sunday the 12th, and it's really just a community base just to support one another with whatever is needed: mental health, fresh meals, outbreak groups where we'll talk about pivoting and gratitude, which is my wheelhouse. So I'm excited, and I hope everyone can come.
And you can find out more information by going to the WGA Strike Unite Instagram for more information. Again, it is fantastic. It is absolutely free, right? It's free to go. You just need to kind of sign up for it. And there's some QR codes and that kind of thing that are available. Such an important thing to attend and support as well. So thank you, Dee, for that. Look at you. You're going to be speaking, right? You're going to be speaking there?
Yes, talking about pivoting and gratitude. I have to say it's specifically for WGA, SAG, and IATSE members, just to be clear.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. To support them. It's supporting them as they're going through the strike. I mean, the strike has been going on now for how many weeks?
Well, the WGA was 4 months and it's now over, so they're back to work. But SAG, it's going on almost 4 months as well. So hopefully soon we'll have a resolution. We'll see. Yes.
Right. So please, everyone, send some prayers and some support. And I'm sure you can find out how, if you want to support directly, by going to the Instagram that's there, and donating, because it's a worthy cause. I mean, listen, these folks are part of our lives. It's just not entertainment; it's part of our lives. They're reflecting upon us, our lives and that kind of thing through the arts and creative and that kind of thing. So very, very important. Couple of things with us here at Soulivity. Please go out and join, look at our latest pages for Soulivity. Some great articles are here, as well as Soulivity TV, which is streaming 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for your inspiration. Got a great article that we just put in here about ways for you and your partner to get closer. Really, really good stuff, really good ideas. Like if you're looking for different ways to connect with your soulmate, look no further than to soulivity.com. Also, please join us on social media, where you can find out more tips and more how-tos and just great information about making your life more rewarding. Again, we're on all the major platforms, from Facebook to Threads to YouTube to Twitter, and even Instagram. So please join us there. Again, I want to thank both of you for being here, D'Angelo and John. Oh, man, fantastic. My brothers from different mothers. Oh, man, this was fantastic.
Such a pleasure.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Listen,
thank
guys.
you,
We're running out of time here. Thanks to all of you for joining us for another Soulivity Today. This is how we do it every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern on our Soulivity channels. Or you can listen to us and watch us at 8 a.m. Pacific time on KMET 1498 AM radio in Southern California for all of you guys out on the West Coast. Listen, until next time, for all of us here at Soulivity, thanks, and keep living your life, cultivating the life of passion, purpose, so that you can have a high quality life, your best life today. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Guys, have a wonderful day.
This work is subject to copyright owned by Affinity Global LLC. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this is expressly prohibited unless Affinity Global LLC has explicitly